I've been making fairy gardens and teaching classes on making fairy gardens for right around 3 years. Fairy gardens is just the name that's really caught on, but it's really all about miniature gardening. Miniature gardening is doing anything that you're using a small size scale to create a living landscape with accessories. I have done them for little boys with dinosaurs, with their Transformer toys. We've done a moonscape for some little boys. You don't have to put a fairy in it. The biggest thing that you want to do is you want to tell a story. When I was a little girl, I used to love to play with doll houses. I used to love all the little pieces and the little accessories and the little dolls. And fairy gardening is kind of like that, except that you're using live plants in a miniature scale to create almost like a little dollhouse area. They're really good gifts because they don't take up a lot of room. You can personalize them to the individual person that you're giving them to. Some fairy gardens you can make can take up so little space that a college student could take it and put it in their dorm room. They fit on the center of tables, window ledges. There's all different kinds of containers that you can make them in, so they are a great gift because you can personalize them. Actually, fairy gardens can be very easy to maintain, or they can be very difficult to maintain depending on what you put in your fairy garden. There are a lot of plants that you can use that are really super easy to grow and maintain, and then there's some complicated ones, so it really depends on what you choose to put in the garden. To start a fairy garden, I think the very first thing you need is an idea. You need a theme, and you need to be able to tell a story in your garden. From there, you're going to go and pick the container that you're going to put it in, and then you're going to pick your accessories, and then you're going to pick your plants. You can do a fairy garden any time of the year. A lot of the plants for the fairy gardens are indoor plants, but you can also do a fairy garden that contains outdoor plants for the region that you live in. The biggest thing that you want to remember if you're going to put your fairy garden outside is if you're going to keep it out there over the winter, you need to use plants that will live outside in the winter. Otherwise, what you can do is bring your container inside, put it in an area that's got light, and keep it watered. I have had people come in and make fairy gardens or buy accessories and kits for fairy gardens. I've had men, women, boys, girls, grandmas, grandpas, you name it. I haven't really found anyone who didn't like fairy gardening. I think it's really easy to put a bunch of stuff in a box, but I think to tell a story, I think that's what makes fairy gardens really interesting and unique. This one I created, and it's the girls at the lake. For me, it's a story and a memory of going on vacation with my girls, and we kind of had a picnic in the front yard of this little lake cottage that we went to, and everyone had little vignettes and little snapshots that they can tell in their fairy gardens.